So there's basically two patterns going on out here on the reservoir. One is obviously the shallow pitching, but the other one is that as these fish and they're spawning, what they'll do is start to migrate down the reservoir to their summer haunts. And one of the things that we want to look for when we're fishing is actually some flats. If you look right here where we are, this big wider blue here, that's a flat coming further out from shore. So I kind of like that, but what I really like is that kind of in the middle or at the edge of that flat is a sharp break. And that's what we're holding on, kind of the edge of the break. Because the fish will take and they'll be on that flat, but then they'll move out off that flat and kind of suspend off the break. So when you're looking for these places, again, look for the blue to come out, but then a sharp break. It's these kind of flats that I look for post-spawn females to be migrating down the reservoir. Now we're kind of getting to the end of the flat here. You see how it's the flat's kind of curling in there. We're kind of coming to the end. We'll probably just reel up and head back up.
That rod.
Ooh, that's a good bend there. I hope it's a fish.
What's it feel like?
I don't know, it's like it's not shaking, like almost like I got a rod or something. You know how you can catch somebody's line and it pulls up the whole rod? Come on now, don't be doing that stuff. He decided he was gonna get a little goofy there. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna bring him right to you.
He's got another
barely
line.
Hooked. Get him, Jeff, get him! Yeah!
Look at this.
No, he's got the other line. That's probably what it made it feel a little goofy out there, right?
Wow.
This is definitely what they call an over here on Francis Case. You can only keep one fish a day over 20 inches. Of course, we aren't keeping any, but he got that back. That's on a little number 7. Now, the reason we use lead core is because the 7 won't go down very deep, but we're fishing in like 35 feet of water. He was right down there in the bottom.
How long do you think that fish is?
Oh, he's probably a good 22 incher. He's got a little bit of belly on him now, so. And this is probably a female, a spawned out female right here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, so that's a nice fish. So what we're fishing here is kind of the edge of a big flat that comes off of shore, but there's actually a pretty good break on the outside. We're gonna put some boards out that have got some suspended lures on them, but then I wanna run this little number 7 flicker minnow down towards the bottom. Now we're gonna be fishing anywhere from 30 to 35 foot deep, so obviously a little bait like this can't run that deep all on its own. So what I'm going to use is what's called lead core line. Now lead core line is this colored line here in my reel, and the idea is that it's weighted. So the more of it I let out, the deeper it's going to go. I actually attach to that lead core line a liter of fire line. So this is 10-4 fire line, and then that attaches right to my bait. Now a lot of people ask, well, how do you know how far out to let your line so that you can get this down towards the bottom? We use something called tick and lift for that. So all I'm going to do for this is let out enough line and lead core so I finally see this little bait ticking the bottom, then I simply reel up a little, keep track of how deep I am, and I know I'm running down close to the bottom. So the beauty of lead core line is that it can take small lures like this little flicker minnow, bring them down into the depths that I want, and hopefully trigger a walleye to bite.
Racy shad and alewife have proven to be the most effective colors while trolling.
I think it's a pretty good one. I was actually making a little inside turn.
But Keith's next bite is another suspended fish, which so far have been harder to trigger overall. And that has Keith's wheels continuing to turn, ever minding the details inside the details.
100 back on that 9 would be 17, 18 foot down. You know, we marked a ton of fish up there. And maybe that with that inside turn, that bait just slowed down a little. Maybe I'm trolling a hair fast. I was only going 1.6, 1.7, but maybe we just got to slow down a little and it'll trigger some of them suspended ones. I'm thinking it's a good one.
Yeah, well, it hasn't shown its mouth
Staying
yet.
down,
Yeah.
it's... Oh, there he is,
I
Jeff.
see it.
He's cruising.
I'm ready.
He's a cruising. Get him, Jeff. There we go.
Great.
Nice. Get him in here. Oh, that's a good one.
Let's collapse the net.
This is a little fatty, too. He bit on that racy shad color.
Yeah, I can see that. It's nice.
He's all in the net. Wasn't going to get away, I guess. Look at how he hit it. He hit the middle hook, but then it swung around, and so it made it even feel bigger. Really didn't need that much help, though. Look at the size of him.
Yeah.
Or probably she's probably a post-spawn female, you know. So I mean, look at you can tell she's going to be a big one someday. She's got a little bit of a kind of a humpback starting back there to give her some weight and girth.
It looks like she's got some sores from spawning too.
Yeah. But right now we're going to let her recoup some more. Take this. That's a good little bait though. That number 9's really been hammering them. It's a good fish. And maybe just a little slower. Like I said, I made a little inside turn and boom, there it was.
leading information and tackle and techniques to make you a better angler. Presented by Mercury.
One of the most asked questions that we have on the NextBite.tv is, why do you guys use a tiller handle on your kickers? Or why would you do a remote control on your kickers? This is a 9.9 Mercury Pro kicker, and the reason that I run a tiller handle is because I have to fish so many different bodies of water during the course of the year. Anywhere from the Dakotas, basically trolling lead core on sheer straight cliff type drop-offs, to the basins of Lake Erie and Lake Winnebago and Green Bay, the big flat expanses where we're catching suspended fish. Where the tiller becomes necessary for me is when I'm trolling those steep drop-offs. That's the real key. I have to be able to turn literally that fast to be able to stay on those contours the way that I need to. For a lot of anglers though, they never see a condition like that. And so having a tiller handled kicker doesn't make a lot of sense for them. And that's when you tie the kicker into the big motor with a tie bar. The other nice thing is you don't have to stand all day long when you're using the kicker. You can actually sit in your driver's seat and steer with your steering wheel back and forth. And basically the kicker will steer right along with the big engine. So those are the two setups. And I would say right now there's probably more people rigging their boats with remote kickers than what they are with the tiller handle version.